Welcome back to the Mojave Gardener. We're going to do a weekly garden update and show you the growth progress that the garden's doing. This week we're having temperatures right around 100 degrees. So I'm trying to get this done first thing in the morning before it gets too hot. So let's get started here. Okay. Here's the garden with the beans, corn, and cucumbers in it. As you can see, the beans are doing really well. We didn't get a whole lot of corn come up this year. Older seed, and so I'm just going to end up putting up some poles and some string and let the beans grow up. After the corn that did come up comes up, then I'll plant more corn later on. I have some red popcorn. They're about a 3 or 4 inch cob that you let dry. So I'll plant those so that we can let them dry in the fall. Okay, here's the greenhouse. We've harvested all the lettuce out here. We tried planting a little bit more, but it bolted almost immediately. This stuff's already starting to bolt. As you can see here with this one especially, it's just taking off. It'll be going to seed here pretty soon. I might just let these go to seed instead of pulling them out. I really don't have anything else to plant in there. It's too warm. I mean, here it is. It's only 8:30 in the morning. I've got a fan on. I've got the shade cloth, and it's already about 87 degrees in here. So we got the fan going here, and it's comfortable in here for us. But the only thing that's doing any good are the peppers that I planted here. These are the ones that we started from the seeds from the store. Those little orange and yellow and red peppers that you buy in the bag at in the store. We've got 3 plants going here, and the let's see, this is cauliflower. Every day the heat gets it, and it's just not even coming back very well anymore. It was coming back overnight, but the temperatures are just so high that it's not liking it in here. So I'm probably going to pull those up and try to figure out something that likes the heat in here for the summer. But the herbs up here are slowly growing. I'm not too sure if they even like the heat. It's the first time I'm growing herbs up here, so I might have to end up transplanting some of this. It might do well in the grow beds here, so I might try that. Okay, outside here in the full garden, we've got our tomatoes that we showed you on our last video that we planted. They're starting to get up to the trellis, and they're really loving this heat. The cauliflower, or let's see, take that back. These are cabbage in this bed. They're taking off. I'm hoping to get something out of them. And the cauliflower here, I got gigantic plants. They're doing really well, except for we have not seen any cauliflower yet coming off of these. So it's really discouraging that they haven't done anything yet. Plants are doing great, but no nothing to eat off of them yet. We had our peppers down here that we planted. Might have to get down in here so you can see them. There we go. There's one there. They're slowly coming along. The cauliflower is kind of shading them a little bit, which is good in this heat, but until they get a good root system going, then they'll take off. Our grapes here, we've got a lot of, see if I can get in here with this where you can see the grapes are really taking off. It's a little hard to see here, but trying to keep them from grabbing a hold of the fence here. I'm trying to let it get long enough to go up here, and then we'll run along the top up here or run some strings across. But our zucchini plants are getting big. The broccoli's coming along. The carrots are starting to grow pretty big. Won't be long before they're ready to harvest. The peas are doing pretty good. You'll see the stuff along the fence, the propane tanks and everything. I had to put something there to stop the dog from rubbing up and down the fence. She's shedding her winter coat, and so she likes to use the fence to pull it out, even though we brush her and all that. And she's done some damage to the peas, so they're not doing too well. As you can see with this one, it's damage from her rubbing up against it, but they're starting to come back. They already have a flower here. So, and then some of these here, we got a few more flowers in here. But we have our first flower to attract the bees in here. This is all cabbage along here. It's doing really well. Starting to see some cupped leaves, so hopefully that means that the cabbage heads are starting to go, starting to grow. Our garlic here is doing really well. The onions are coming along. Get out of the quit shading what I'm trying to show here. It's doing pretty good. Our strawberries, the new ones, they're doing pretty good. A few more flowers in there. And the strawberries from last year, they've already put off their first batch of strawberries. We got a few off of there. But our sunflowers here at the end of our beds are growing pretty well. The apple trees are doing good. I did a quick prune on them. And our potatoes, still just the one came up. I went to dig up the others. Oh, I take that back. We're starting to get some coming up out of this one here. Like I said, I started digging up the ones that weren't coming up, and the eyes were finally starting to put off growth. So I put it back in the ground and just kept watering. Our spaghetti squash here, they're growing up the vines. Well, the vines are growing up the trellis, and we already have some squash set on here. And our peppers down here, they're still trying to get a hold, but as you can see, we have a bee visiting our flower on our spaghetti squash, which is good. I like to see that. That means we'll hopefully have a good harvest this year. But I think that'll do it for this tour. Maybe here with these on this plant you can see a little bit better. You can see that's just covered in grapes. And as on the other one, I'm trying to get these to grow up here. Won't be long before I'm able to tie that off up there so that it'll start growing. I'll build a trellis work up here of wire, heavy gauge wire to run those on. It'll make it real easy to harvest. Okay, here's our tomatillos, the purple ones. About half of them didn't make it, but there's still enough in here that once they get up to their full size, they'll be halfway up the wall here. They'll be just gigantic. And we still have some tomato plants to plant. These are the ones that we started off of the suckers from the ones that we planted in the garden. As you can see, they're doing really well. A little bit longer, they'll be ready to transplant. Here's the others that we started. They're starting to get big enough to go out in the garden. But with these, we ordered some of the grow bags. We're going to try to get those in and place them around, as we really don't have any more garden space this year. And here's let's see, these were some more of these that we planted in pots to get a little bit better root system on them. They're going to actually go into the greenhouse in pots in there, and we'll do a aquaponics grow on them. I'll show you when we finally get that set up. I've got to go to the hardware store and get some more pipe to do that. So, but our few more tomatoes here and our pumpkins that we started, we had about a 70% germination with those. These are field pumpkins, the same as you buy in the pumpkin lots in the fall. So they're what they use for jack-o'-lanterns. And these three here are some volunteers that we had come up in our bean and corn garden. I dug them up and put them in pots to let them have a little better chances. We have something, I think it's squirrels, that keep eating on the little fresh growth in our garden. I've got traps out for them, live traps, so that we can trap them and take them far away so that they don't eat our garden. Okay, that'll do it for this weekly garden update. If you like our videos, subscribe, hit that like button, the bell notification, so that you get notified whenever we have a new video up. And please share our videos so we can get more views and subscribers and grow our channel. Have a great day and keep gardening.